we think of, like, structural engineering, we usually picture steel and concrete, right?
Right. Yeah, bridges and skyscrapers and all that.
Exactly. But the most impressive feat of gravity-defying architecture in 2026 actually isn't a building at all. It is a wedding dress.
Oh, absolutely. It is wild what designers are doing right now.
Today we're doing a deep dive into a really fascinating trend report we found on the Weddizer website. If you are, planning an event or just browsing the Weddizer articles for style guidance, you have probably noticed this.
Oh, yeah, it's everywhere. This one highly structured silhouette is just completely dominating the runways.
We are talking about the dramatic return of the Basque waist paired with these massive sweeping trains. So our mission today is to figure out the structural secrets behind these like unforgettable cinematic gowns.
Yeah, so we all know the traditional Basque waist. That is
Yeah.
that sharp, dramatic dip forming a V or a U shape right below the natural waistline.
Right, very Victorian era.
Exactly. But what the Weddizer report shows is that 2026 is taking that Victorian staple and just supercharging it. Designers are specifically using heavy fabrics like crisp Mikado and luxurious silk satin.
And they aren't just choosing those because they're shiny, right?
No, not at all. Those fabrics have incredible tensile strength. They literally act like the drywall and studs holding up that sculpted shape.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because it really is like an architectural optical illusion that stretches the torso.
It is. It creates this amazing visual elongation.
But wait, look at the sheer geometry of this bodice. I mean, as a modern bride who actually wants to eat cake and dance, just looking at this gives me sympathy, chest pains.
I know, it looks intense.
Like, how is anyone surviving a 6-hour reception in a heavy Victorian corset?
Well, what's fascinating here is that they wouldn't. The original Victorian corsets relied on rigid steel or whalebone.
Ouch. Which literally bruised ribs.
Yeah, and restricted breathing. But today's designers are using modern craftsmanship to just engineer right around the pain.
Wait, really? How do they do that without losing the shape?
We are talking about 3D printed, flexible polymer boning. It actually moves and expands with the rib cage.
Oh, wow, that is genius.
Right. And they pair it with hidden illusion paneling. So you get that aristocratic hourglass structure without, passing out at the altar.
Which makes total sense. And because that Basque bodice is so heavy and structured on top, you can't just throw on a simple straight slip skirt.
No, the proportions totally demand something massive at the bottom to balance it out.
Because that downward line of the bodice naturally just draws your eye right to the floor.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it sets the stage perfectly for those massive cathedral trains, the royal trains, the layered tulle extensions we're seeing.
Yeah, which are huge right now.
They are. And you might think pairing a highly structured, dropped waist bodice with a huge sweeping train would just swallow the wearer whole.
Right, like a giant cupcake.
Exactly. But the tightly fitted top prevents that volume from overwhelming the bride. The tension between the rigid top and the airy bottom is what actually makes it work.
But again, dragging a cathedral train through a crowded reception hall just sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Oh, for sure. People stepping on it all night.
Right. Which brings us to my favorite modern twist that I saw in the Weddizer articles, the detachable overskirt.
Oh, those are brilliant.
They really are. You get all that regal drama for the ceremony, and then you just unclip the massive tulle extension when it's time for the party.
And that reception look is so smart because the gown itself is making such a massive structural statement. The styling around it has to be incredibly disciplined.
Oh, totally. The Weddizer style guides are super strict on this part.
Yeah, they recommend minimal, delicate jewelry, maybe a matching cathedral veil, and very structured hair, like a sleek ponytail or an elegant bun.
It feels like they're treating the dress like a museum piece. You don't put a loud, flashy frame on a masterpiece.
Exactly. You want to keep that elongated neckline totally clear.
But here is the absolute best part about ditching the overskirt for the reception.
What's that?
Once that massive train is gone, that sharp V-shaped Basque waist literally acts like an elegant arrow pointing straight down to the floor.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. The bride's statement shoes finally get their main character moment.
That is so true. It really is a perfect synthesis of elements. Every single accessory serves the silhouette.
It really does.
2026 bridal fashion is really about merging that vintage aristocratic elegance with just runway-level drama. It's taking historical elements and upgrading them for a modern cinematic entrance.
It really is like wearing a piece of monumental architecture that's just designed to command attention. But, it leaves you wondering something.
What's that?
Well, we live in such a highly casual, everyday modern world. Most of us work in sweatpants now, right?
Yeah, guilty as charged.
Same. So if the bridal industry is so aggressively shifting toward this cinematic, royal escapism, what does our desire to dress like historical queens for one day really say about us?
Oh, that is a fantastic question about fashion as pure fantasy. Definitely something for you to think about the next time you see a bride commanding the aisle, engineered to absolute perfection.